I'm Corbett Wall with DVAuction, here with your feeder flash for Thursday, June the 20th, brought to you in part by VITALIX Corporation. Since 1967, VITALIX has been providing excellence in animal health, including but not limited to all-American ID tags for all classes of livestock, whether it's 1 or 2 piece. For more information, go to y-tex.com. $2 or bust. I was visiting with some Northern Plains negotiated fat cattle sellers on Wednesday, and they've got their heels dug in at $2 live or $3.15 dressed, and they're not asking that, they're demanding that. So they moved a lot of cattle last week. If packers don't want to give that, then they'll likely won't buy any of their cattle. So that's going to be an interesting thing to see if everybody else in the Northern Plains sticks to that. $2 has been a benchmark that many of us didn't think that we would ever reach, but we are right on the cusp of it. We saw it in negotiated action and competitive bidding in your fat cattle auctions on Wednesday. So why can't we get it on a direct basis? But we do have enough competition going in the Northern Plains, and we have feedlots that are willing to negotiate and ask more money every week for cattle, and that's how you gain those big prices. Now the Southern Plains, nobody's waiting at the edge of their seat to see what the Southern Plains does. I don't know what the Southern Plains is going to do. You can't get any closer than that. Of course, everybody is trading on some type of a formula, and you guys think that's complicated. Many times the formula is just $2, $3, or $4 over what the market is. But the hell of it is, we got nobody left to establish a market, and the handful that do don't have any leverage. So now we're getting so far back. They were $10 back last week. Well, if the Northern Plains gets $2, they won't even be able to see them. They won't even be able to see their tail lights. I guess the handful of guys that are still selling negotiated, you might as well sign up with some type of a formula deal now, and you'll find out that the only real premium in this business, as far as your packers are concerned, is volume. And those are the ones that get the premium, is the ones that have the most cattle. But we've known that was going to happen. I've been preaching it probably for at least 4 or 5 years on this program. I had a guy, the Feeder Flash gang member, that was following me, that has been following me for a long time, maybe 10 years or so, and he has got a position with Texas cattle growers, and he was calling and asking about the Cattle Price Discovery and Transparency Act. And I haven't quit thinking about that. I haven't quit supporting it, but it just kind of got tabled and has been left there because we just don't seem to have anybody that with any power or any pull or any votes, especially when it comes to NCBA, that wants to push that anymore. And even though we have several of our senators and congressmen that would go ahead and push that through for us and turn it into a law, they won't put it up unless they know they've got the votes to get it passed. So U.S. Cattlemen's Association is about the only ones pushing it. I would love to see RCAF get behind it. They've got a big convention coming up here late this week. They like to talk about things that are too volatile for others to talk about. I would like to see them talk about the mandatory ID. We need to stop it in its tracks right now, where it's at. They did this with a stroke of a pen, making it mandatory on all breeding stock, and we need to put an end to it right there and not let it go to all classes of cattle. We need to start bringing up this minimum negotiated trade in the different areas, which is included in the Cattle Price Discovery Act. We'll see that. We need to stop this bird flu deal. You know, if you test long enough for anything, you'll eventually find an elementary kid with Alzheimer's. So we can't just let them willy-nilly us on that kind of stuff, guys. But it's very troubling whenever you see the Southern Plains feedlots trading at a $10 discount. Of course, your board's going along with the $10 discount, and the Northern Plains guys that are demanding the $2 live or $3.15 dressed. Another thing they want to see is they want to see how big of a basis they can make. Instead of jumping at the basis like we see in the Southern Plains, and we see the Northern Plains do it from time to time too, they have decided that if they get more for their cash cattle, that makes the basis even bigger. And if they're hedged, of course, that helps them, you know, either reach their break-evens or make a bigger profit there. But it's going to be fun to see what happens, and I think it could happen here on Thursday. I would be surprised if the board doesn't open higher, because we had that Juneteenth holiday, and it closed the board. You know, that's something to celebrate right there, as we were able to have higher feeder cattle sales and fat cattle sales because we didn't have a board to have to fight off on Wednesday. But now the Thursday morning board's going to see all these higher prices of every class of cattle that there is, and like I said, I'll be surprised if it didn't at least open up higher. So we're going to see what happens, and the trade could break loose. Your packers are short bought. And, you know, if we might just see a complete standoff if these packers think that they can run their businesses with no fresh cattle to put in there this time of year, right in the middle of grilling season. It'll be interesting to see. Another thing that's fun to watch is the Punchy Pick videos, guys. Punchy Pick of the Month contest is something that we've been doing here for quite a long time. People look forward to them. Every month, the last day of this month, we'll award our Punchy Pick of the Month winner, and he or she will receive a big giant box full of really cool stuff from Beaver Feed Company, Beaver County Stockyards, NationalBeefWire, you know, feeder flash things, but they're also going to get the whole case of Therapies, the revolutionary product that's scientifically proven, guys. You need to check that out. Stay tuned at the end of this Feeder Flash episode. I'm going to attach a video to learn more about Therapies. Like I said, your board was closed for Juneteenth holiday, so we don't have to talk about that. We can go around into your fat cattle. We had one load, and it was the light load of fat cattle that sold negotiated basis in your 5-area feeding region on Wednesday that was confirmed. One load of dressed steers in Iowa that sold at $305. But we have fat cattle auctions. I'm going to start talking more about your fat cattle auctions, guys. Competitive bidding is how you get higher prices. I told you we wouldn't be getting slaughter bulls that's been well over $2 here for months without competitive bidding. We wouldn't get these feeder cattle to $23, $24, even over $2,500 a head without competitive bidding. You can't gain ground in your fat cattle without competitive bidding. Glacial Lakes Livestock, Watertown, South Dakota. They have a regular fat cattle auction there on Wednesdays. They had 460 head on Wednesday. Conventional cattle, just straight up cattle, bring 193 to 196. Wow. With the program cattle from 198 to 199.75. Now that's active market there with competitive bidding. Another fat cattle auction, Sioux Falls Regional Livestock in Worthing, South Dakota. Both of those sales are DVAuction broadcasters. At Worthing, South Dakota, they had 900 head in, including the cows and bulls. Conventional fat cattle bring from $193 to $2 even. Bing, 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 there you go. $2 fats in an auction setting. $3 to $5 higher. Program cattle, non-implanted or drug-free, bring from $196.5 to $202. See if you can negotiate for that with your hat in your hand. texting back and forth or trying to get somebody on a cell phone. Don't happen. Box beef cutout values were mixed, with our Choice Select spread continuing to grow. Choice cuts were up 18 cents at $320.70. Selects down 95 cents at $303.26. Slaughter up through the first 3 days of this week, 360,000. That's 7,000 less than last week, 18,000 less than the same week a year ago. Talk about what else is going on. Elite livestock sales. They like to market cattle in a competitive manner. They're doing it through video auctions now instead of in the Montgomery stockyards, but their motto there has always been, don't take the final offer, get the highest bid. And that's how you do that with competitive marketing. They've got a special video sale with Elite Livestock Sales here today on Thursday afternoon. It starts at 3 o'clock Central here today, Thursday on June 20th. You can find out what a professional job they do. It's Southeastern cattle. You're going to love to feed them, especially this time of year. Go on there and look at their videos. Go to DVAuction.com and look up the Elite Livestock Sales and look at their videos. As good of yearling cattle as you'll find anywhere, guys. They may not have a lot of hair on them. You don't need a lot of hair, especially this time of year, guys. But you'll be impressed with the team there. Daryl Stokes, he's a good buddy of mine, just like Jerry Etheridge is. Wesley Grantham, a young guy there that's got a bright future and knows way more than he should about the cattle business. Of course, they've got the world livestock auctioneer champion Chuck Bradley on their team. He'll be there selling the cattle. They've got Beaver Yoder, they got Branson Yost. They've got some other good guys there all across the Southeast. They've even got Whit Lane, and he's an absolute nut, but he knows cattle and he's honest with you. He's a good guy. I really enjoy being around Whit, and family man now. But anyway, check out that sale. They got 32 loads from Georgia, Alabama, and Florida. Mostly all yearling steers, but they've got some backgrounded calves on there and some yearling heifers. But going to be coming out of Hope Hole, Alabama. That's their headquarters there. Check that out on DV Auction today, Thursday at 3 o'clock Central. Let's check about your feeder cattle market, your real-time index on DV Auction late in the day on Wednesday, based on an 800-pound cash auction steer up through your middle 12 states. 253.99, up 181. But your latest CME cash feeder cattle index, which it's even further behind than normal. It's usually about a day and a half behind. Now it's about 2.5 days behind. Haven't seen that update for a while because of the holiday there. But the latest available was 257.07. That is likely to take a little dip here for a day or two and then come back. But don't forget about Joplin Regional Stockyards Value Added Special here today on Thursday. It'll start early. I think they've got at least 5,000 head of preconditioned program calves on there. You'll love the quality. Some of their best consigners wait for these special sales to do that. But I think I said on our last visit that they were going to have a primetime video. I don't know where I come up with that at, but not expecting primetime video, as they've got their Big Bang video sale coming up here July the 2nd. So most everybody's waiting for that, and they're going to have a big swath of cattle on there. Talk about your big sales on Wednesday. OKC West, El Reno, Oklahoma. DV Auction broadcaster, 7,600 head there. The feeder steers were mostly steady with last week's big gains, and that's when we really saw this market jump up. If you remember, it was on last Wednesday there, but feeder steers were mostly steady with that. Feeder heifers gained another $1 to $3 and on a good active sale there in El Reno. A couple of individual quotes on the steers and the heifers that I saw was a load of steers weighed 79 head of them, weighed 784 and bring 268. Big load of them. Heifers, they had 53 of them, weighed 708 at 258. Those are both standout quotes. on steers and heifers. They got a good market there at El Reno, especially a market setter there in the Southern Plains. How about your National Beef Wire stick out sale of the day? It was Stockman's Livestock in Yankton, South Dakota. They offer DV Auction Broadcasting too. You talk about a stick out sale. Now, each of these groups or weight groups could be an individual quote. But you look at your best tested weight groups, and it's mostly on feeder cattle there, but it's just unbelievable the amount of cattle that they're selling and what they're averaging. But look down through there on your best tested weights. How about 290 head of 7-weight steers in Yankton? They average 756 at 275.10. 529 head of 8-weight steers averaged 846 with a weighted average price on all those of 260.82. Wow. 1,213 head of 9-weight steers in Yankton averaged 961 at 241.40. But anyway, they like the bigger ones too than the 10 weights. There were about 900 head of 10-weight cattle in Yankton, South Dakota. They sell from 231.25 to 245.10. Wow. Look at the heifers. 471 head of 7-weight heifers average 759 at 247.43. Nearly 300 head of 8-weight heifers averaged 832 at 235.44, and 314 head of 9-weight yearling heifers at Stockman's Livestock in Yankton, South Dakota. They averaged 948 with a weighted average price of 220.89. An individual quote out of Yankton I sure wanted to give you guys was 52 steers, weighed 1036 and bring 244.75 or $2,535 a head. Wow. Got several individual quotes to give you from all around. Let's go way out west to Galt, California at Cattleman's Livestock. They sell 63 steers, weighed 709 at 290. They're right in here with us. How about Coffeyville Stockyards, the North Barn in Coffeyville, Kansas up there. Tyler Layton doing a good job there. They sold 118 steers, weighed 940 at 247.10. Don't forget, Cattleman's or Coffeyville Stockyards is going to be having that Blue Stem special at the Cross Bell Ranch. I'm going to be going up there next Friday, June the 29th, for a big 20,000 head video. And you guys are welcome to come. Going to be starting at 5. They're going to have dinner before that. Be a good time out there at the Cross Bell. You got to go just to see it. It's a beautiful place. How about Dodge City, Kansas, Winter Livestock? Mason Winter, give me the heads up on 95 heifers come right off the wheat. Weighed 707, bring 271 heifers, people. And then Springfield Livestock Marketing Center, Springfield, Missouri. Of course, Tonto Cassie, heavily involved in that. Sold his home-raised black and black baldy steers there. There was 82 head of them. They weigh 636 and bring 308.75. Big time quote out of Springfield, Missouri there. But the most impressive quote of a whole bunch that I saw on Wednesday in your Macrocin No BS top quote of the day come out of Bloomfield Livestock Market. And I'm going to give the quote of all the 8-weights that they sold in the barn in Bloomfield, Iowa on Wednesday. There were 318 8-weight steers in Bloomfield. They averaged 853 with a weighted average price on all of them of 267.04. That's your feeder flash for Thursday.
This is the bunk line of the calves that have received therapies 48 hours ago. He just fed them. This is the bunk line of the calves who did not receive therapies. And he literally just fed them too. And they finally have just come up to bunk. Again, calves with therapies. The bunk line is full.